welcome back to the Oval Podcast. Here tonight, we are joined by Pit Lizard Pimp, Charlie Mefford. Welcome back to the Oval Podcast. Here tonight, we are joined by... we got you, Charlie. I believe Charlie has something to say to y'all, so,
Rumor has it, this is just a rumor, just to keep in mind. But the rumor is, hey, you can't park there.
No, you cannot. We can't park
Not a
there.
parking zone, especially going to the back stretch of the dome. That is you cannot park there area.
Yeah, you gotta have that parking pass from Charlie himself.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright, well, to get it started, let's go and dig in some of my questions real quick, and then Javen. What do you think is the best modified series / sanction besides UMP?
That's a pretty good question. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lot of modified. You get UMP, USMTS, IMCA with soda, and probably more.
USMTS.
Yeah. That's one of those deals you just really don't know. I've only been able to run UMP. Only been around UMP. I really want to try out USMTS. Their stuff just looks so gnarly.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. Like, it's not all the same. Like, they're not the same modifieds. There's a difference, a huge difference. You got body rules. I'm pretty sure there's even chassis rules in some of them. Suspension rules. Yeah. So it's not just of the modified class. It's either IMCA, USMTS, USRA, UMP mod. There's no straight up one. But I think the best that isn't UMP has to be USMTS. USMTS might be the best modified sanction out there right now. I mean, you go and you look at the pay. $10,000 a win. Pretty much every weekend.
Yeah.
They're paying $5,000 for the opening night. I mean, $5,000 like our main purse anywhere we go for UMP stuff. So, yeah, USMTS, man. I think that's besides UMP and above UMP, you just have to go there. It's not just one region. UMP country. That's the Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. Well, not even Tennessee. But, that area. That's UMP country.
Yeah.
Mostly Illinois, but USMTS, it travels a lot too, man.
Yeah.
I think USMTS is most definitely going to be top of the list.
I believe Javen's going to throw you a question. We'll probably be going back and forth. So, go ahead, Javen.
So, what first got you interested in racing?
Well, he was a huge NASCAR fan. Growing up all his life, he was a huge Dell Senior fan, and it was I was kind of just raised watching NASCAR. Every Sunday, me and Dad. Well, I wouldn't, but Dad, he would sit on the couch and he'd watch NASCAR races on Sunday, and I'd just be roaming around, being a little Tasmanian devil I was, just causing havoc everywhere. So it's just one of those deals. Dad always was a huge fan of NASCAR. My cousin, he ran a go-kart at this local track right here in Belton. So we ran that. Went up there and watched it a few times, and we bought our first go-kart. I was about 5. I was about 4 at the time we bought it. And we cranked it up at the house, and the throttle hung on it. If anybody knows, the throttle hung in a go-kart, you really can't do nothing. Well, you really can't do anything with the throttle hung. Well, no. I mean, you got shutdown switches and, cars and stuff, but you ain't got no shutdown switch. You just kind of got to hold on. And then the first time I ever sat in a go-kart, legit climbed it up a tree because the throttle hung. So I was terrified of it. I thought there was a ghost in the go-kart, so I wouldn't go near it for a little bit. And then one day I was just like, Mama, Daddy, I want to get back in the go-kart. So we got back in there, and I started racing. I won my first race, and, pretty much the rest was history.
Sounds interesting. Speaking of you're starting out, I asked, and I'm going to ask every driver since I'm going to be doing my first season here this year. Probably going to start next month or something, getting at it. what's your advice for me? And then I'll throw an actual question besides just that.
Never give up.
Huh?
There will be times. There will be times where you're so down on yourself where you just want to sell out and never touch a race car again. And there's times where you think you're the greatest of all time. And those times where you just want to sell out everything, you cannot give up. You never can give up. That's one main thing. You know, you're gonna have a lot of downs. There's racing. It's not for the wicked.
Yeah.
If it was, if everything went smooth, everybody would do it. Racing, us racers, we're a different breed. So, just never give up, man. I struggled the first little bit. I got in a big car. Struggled. Half a track down, laps down. You just can't give up. You're starting out. You're not going to set the world on fire. You got time to learn.
Yeah.
And starting at a young age will help a lot.
Yeah.
That's helped me a lot. Heck, I'm 16 and I'm running with some of the best in the nation, and Tyler Nicely, Lucas Lee, and others like that. Heck, we just went down to Volusia, first time they were there, and we was super competitive. I never dreamed of that. I'm just 16, so you just gotta keep your nose on the grindstone and keep at it, man. There's no doubt about it. If only you can stop yourself from achieving greatness, and I believe. I wake up every day and I believe that quote, and that's why I get up every day. Don't matter if I'm wrenching on race cars, going to eat, or going to work. I'm going to do the daggum best I can. Don't matter if it's licking the plate clean, making sure all the nuts and bolts are tight on the car, or doing whatever needs to be done at work, and doing it right. That's just that's a quote to live life by. But yeah, just that main goal is just never give up. Never give up.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say something, but Javen said he has the perfect question to follow up that, so I'll let him go.
My next question for you was, actually, what was it like to win Gator down in Volusia and battle with some of the best down there?
You can ask everybody I know, everybody that knows me. I do not cry. I don't cry for anything in the world. I can't tell you the last time I cried before that. But we rolled down there. We was like, man, all we want to do is be top 20 in points. Just top 20 in points, and we will be daggum, jumping up and down, hugging each other, acting like we just won a big gator. So we rolled down there. Monday, I qualified, I was third fastest in hot laps, out of everybody. And we just kind of got back to the trailer and just kind of looked around. We was like, is the transponder wrong? Is there another 13? So, and then we go back out and qualify. I qualified 10th in my group. And we're like, oh my Lord, we're kind of competitive. So Monday night, car was good. I sucked. Tuesday night, car wasn't that great. I was good. Wednesday, we roll out, qualifying. I set quick time by 8/10. I thought the lap was terrible Wednesday. Just absolutely terrible. I roll out there, just suck. I roll into the pit road to go across the scales, and I'm 8/10 quicker than everybody else on the racetrack. I was like, you know what? We might not be off. Strickler comes out, first lap, doesn't beat me. Second lap beats me by 1/1000th of a second. I was like, if I can qualify 1/1000th behind Kyle Strickler, we're going to be something tonight. Roll out, qualified pole, the feature 2, and I just never looked back, I kept watching the screen going down the front stretch. It showed me a few laps, and then it wouldn't show me. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta be doing something. And if they're not showing the race for the lead, that means there ain't a race for the lead. So I just kind of stayed calm, kept making laps, and it was a caution fest, dude. It was stressing me out so much. But when that white flag dropped and I came out of 2, I was like, oh my god, I'm a gator. And I think I terrible turn 3 and 4. Terrible. And then I come off of 4, and my hand was out the window. I about wrecked coming off of 4, celebrating. And then it was pretty cool because that whole day I just kind of BSing around with all the dirt car officials. Jonathan Clayton, Big Jim, all of them. Eric, Ruben, just legit everybody that had a dirt car official shirt on that day, I was down there messing with them. Even Sam a little bit. So it was a unique day. There's never going to be another race day like that. And I had Matt James with Race Ranch. He came from the Race Ranch trailer all the way onto the racetrack, and legit came down there and hugged me in my car. So I did a donut. Never never done a donut in a modified in my life, and I did it right there. So that it was kind of embarrassing because I about knocked the fence down, and then I got out and just was going nuts. So and then all that happened. Got on top of the car, and there was a few comments. It was only $1,000. Why is he acting like that? Well, dadgummit, I just want a gator. So it was just one of those deals. And then I got out. Strickler's doing his interview, and I just held my gator in my hands, and I just instant tears, man. I started bawling, and like I said, you can ask anybody. I do not cry. So just those tears. That shows you how much that win meant to me. I mean, like normally when I win, I get a little cocky, a little confident. I'm Charlie Mefford. I'm the best at everything. It's what Kenny Wallace says to me. So that's kind of one of those deals. It's just, it was a very special moment for me, my dad, my mom, everybody else down there with us. The people we was pit beside, Scotty Owens, he's a sponsor of my car. He's a huge help. His father-in-law went with the Volusia every year. He passed away a few years back. And he always wanted to be on that front stretch. So I kind of dedicated that win to him right there. So it was a true emotional and really confidence booster for that whole deal. And I came up to Clarksville this past weekend, didn't run that good, and I just kind of kept thinking to myself, oh well, if I don't run good at Clarksville, I got a gator, and I done proved to these people that I can wheel a race car.
Yeah. Hey, well, you can in fact park at Volusia there, where you park.
Oh yeah,
you can park there.
And that's the thing. Like I was rolling to Volusia, I was like, if I win, I gotta say you can park here. Get out of the car, don't say a word. And as soon as I got done with my interview, I was like, dag gummit. So we made the shirt, the "You Can Park Here" shirt, and they I think that took care of it.
Yeah, I actually ordered one.
Oh yeah, you order one? Yeah, I appreciate that. Anybody that orders a shirt, that really means a lot to us. It really. I mean, that's what sparked us to go to Volusia. We had the T-shirt money, and we went down there off the T-shirt money. So every shirt that gets ordered, it counts. Don't think you order a shirt, you don't get recognized. Every shirt that gets ordered, goes into the car. So you're pretty much halfway sponsoring me if you order a shirt.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I could help you out. I love seeing you run. You're always fast. So every time I see your car on track, I'm excited to see it run because I know something exciting is gonna happen.
Shoot, I need to get me a Charlie shirt. Listen, Charlie, I've been trying to get one. I just keep forgetting. But in next week, now I'm talking to you, we'll have one ordered. So, I guess I'll throw a question at you. What is your favorite modified chassis? Because there's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot of good ones. I'm gonna have to go with my favorites, Elite. By Nick Hoffman. That's the cars I run. I think they're the best in the game. Longhorns are good. Lethals are good. Every car is good pretty much. There's a crap ton of cars. They're still manufacturing new cars. It's one of those deals. If you want to beat the best, you gotta be the best.
Yeah.
So I think that's the Elite chassis.
Yeah. Elites. Elites are good and stuff. What would you say your second and third favorites are? Which I believe you said that, but I'll be honest, I kind of wasn't paying attention besides Elite. So, yeah.
Second one had to be Longhorn. Longhorns, they're showing a lot of speed here recently. Their whole game is really stepped up. Steve Arpin, took control of the head of Longhorn, and he's doing a heck of a job. And especially their wheelman Ethan Dotson. Holy crap, that California kid, dude, he's wild. He can wheel. We was talking in a Volusia, and he told Matt, he said, you got to have that Charlie kid give me some PR lessons. That kid can talk to anybody, and he always shouts out to his sponsors. So that's pretty cool. Having somebody like that recognize me,
Yeah, for sure. Speaking like Steve and them, him and Kyle Strickler came down to one of my home tracks like 2 years ago, somewhere around there. And it was pretty good, they were fastest. And Steve Checkered came out for hot laps, I think. He was already throwing flames out the back of his car. And then they went away for a little bit. He pulled through the tech shed, and I don't know where his car caught on fire. But we are parked near the tech shed, so they grabbed the fire. My dad and the guy we were helping out, they grabbed the fire extinguisher and they ran and put the fire out. So that was pretty cool for us because we got to help a legend out that's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. He really is a legend, with all the rally car stuff and, getting back into the modified swing of things. He's really good. I got to talk to him, got to meet him, got to BS around with him a little bit. He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, for sure. I think Javen might have a question here to throw at you, cause yeah.
Well, well, my next question is, what race are you most looking forward to this year?
I ain't got a set schedule. I don't know what I'm going to be running next. But, one race, you got to look to is that 10 grand at Bloomington. The stars and cars in the modified division are going to be there. Don't matter. I think there's probably going to be some IMCA with Soda, probably USMTS cars there. I don't doubt there's going to be a lot of sanctions there that switch over to UMP just to run that race. 10 grand is a lot of money for a dirt race, especially modified. Modifieds don't get the respect that they deserve, I think.
Yeah.
We could run for 1,500 and have 40 cars. Late models running for 7,500 and have like 25. The support's there. It's just we just don't have the return.
Yeah, for sure. I know it's Javen's question, but I do agree with the fact that modified guys don't get enough attention. Late models are very good in sprint cars and stuff. But modifieds, the racing, in my opinion, I think it takes a cake, I'd say late models and sprint cars are second and third, but shoot, like, I was watching Summer Nationals at, Macon, Illinois, or Macon, I'm not sure how to say that.
Yeah, Macon. Little 5th Mile bull ring, that provides pretty good shows.
Yeah, and I was just watching them guys. I believe Mike McKinney won that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that was a pretty good race. So
McKinney, he's good on those Illinois bull rings. Macon, Fairbury. If there's one race I do look forward to this year, it's the PDC, man. That's my dream race. Never been to Fairbury, but I'm so in love with it, man. Like the racing 411 videos, holy crap! They just, they kill it. Like I've never really seen a lot about Fairbury. Watched one of those videos and I was hooked forever. I don't really know who does them, but dang, they do a great job, man. It's just hype, man. It gets you going. Everybody's like Eldora, Port Royal, all those. I'm like, no, man, Fairbury. It's in the middle of the cornfields in Illinois. It's a town that's shaped around a dirt track. How much more cool can I get?
Yeah, for sure. Eldora should stick as a late model track. Port Royal needs to stick with sprint cars, and that's my opinion. I'm sure a lot of guys will fight that, but I think Fairbury is definitely one of the best tracks for modified racing. So
the best track, general.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest. It's America's dirt track. It's legit. You get so many conditions. You'll have a little rough. It'll be slick, and it'll be banging right up on the cushion. That's one of the greatest racetracks in the world, I believe. Absolutely in the world. Not U.S., not Illinois, not a sanction. Freaking the world.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let Javen go since I kind of, talked there for a few minutes. So, Javen, go ahead.
Well, I kind of running out of questions. I only have 4, but this one is just how old were you when you started racing? You might have already said this,
Stepped
but
inside a go kart, and then when I finally raced a go kart, I was about 5, and they started just ran super local there for a few years. Kind of started running regionally there after a few years. Won a lot of races regionally, and then we decided it was time to go race with the big dogs. So we went down to like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, stuff like that, like for 2 years, 2016, 2017, and they ran with the best of the best. If you think go karts, you think the best, it's going to be that tri-state area. The Tri-State Pro Series. Troy Duncan used to run that. Just the Maxis stuff. It's the Boss Hogs of whatever go kart racing is. And then we won a lot of championships down there. We won like 4 or 5 in a 2-year span, so it was pretty cool. And then we moved up to a modified in 2018, a B mod. I was 11 years old at the time. Just moved. I mean, you guys know my build. I'm skin and bones, real skinny. I mean, heck, I was that little 11-year-old out there, wheeling around a 2,400-pound race car. So it was pretty cool. And then the next year we moved up to A mods, the open modified, the UMP modified that everybody sees and knows and hates on, but stuff happens. So yeah, after that, we just kind of stuck around locally still. Was local for the next few years. We kind of started moving around there in 2020. Not a whole lot, just going to different tracks. And then last year we went to, I mean, not last year, but 2021 we traveled a lot more. Last year we tried to travel, hurt a motor real early. Was out for about 2 months waiting on parts. The coronavirus really hurt us get back on the racetrack last year. So with all the part, you couldn't make anything. You just couldn't get the stuff from where it needs to be because everybody was out sick, and then all the freight and stuff. So we couldn't get no parts in. Nobody could make them since they couldn't get the stuff in to make them. And then this year, heck, I mean, we've done travel to Florida, so we're planning on traveling a lot this year. Trying to go to a lot of big shows, see a lot of the big stuff.
Yeah, speaking of like how you were 11 when you kind of like started. So I'm pretty young, I'm 10 and I turn 11 soon. So it's my first year. My dad personally doesn't like the class I'm going to have to run this year because they drive really rough, especially on the tracks around here. So we're talking about next year. We have actually 3 modifieds setting in the backyard, so he's thinking about putting me in the modified if we are able to. So yeah, I'm pretty excited because I've always wanted to run a modified, so hopefully I'll get to go out there with the big guys and be just like you. So yeah.
Yeah, modifieds, they are a different animal. You said about getting rough. I grew up being rough. Running go karts around bull rings. You got to get rough in those.
Yeah.
If they get rough with you, you just got to get rough back. You can't take anything off anybody. I mean, you show them the most respect you can, but until you try to race everybody clean, it's the minute somebody gets into you, you can't really help it. You can't not really be a sissy, but you can't just sit around and just ride around and just let everybody pass you. You got to be aggressive and stuff like that.
Yeah, I won't be getting into A mods because, like I said, they only run like sport mods, not like the IMCA stuff. Like just pretty much.
Yeah, like B mod,
yeah,
crate mod, stuff like that.
Just like pretty much B mods. So yeah, if they.
Which that's when I started out in. When I was about your age.
Yeah. I'll throw my last question I have for right now since I'm organizing them, and then we'll have to go to unorganized. But what's the best looking race car scheme you've seen between late models and modified? So I'm looking for what's your favorite schemes you've seen in both classes.
So I'm a big stuff's looking good. But like that's when I'm really on and that throws the whole thing off. And you can have a really bad looking wrap on a really good looking body.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those deals. It's hard to tell. You see a lot of race cars. I've already seen over probably 1,000 race cars this year. Between Facebook, streaming services,
Yeah.
in person, it's hard to really tell. But like I like those cleaner looking cars. Just real simple. Yeah, like the Rusty Slink stuff. It's cool, but it's too busy. You really can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like the Brandon Overton stuff. It's clean, it's simple. You can tell what's going on, and it looks good on the racetrack.
Mhm.
Your stuff may look good rolling through the pits, but if it don't look good on the racetrack, then what's the point?
Mhm. Like Nick Hoffman's scheme's a good example. Like he puts a lot into his, but it's like not too much. It's like just enough.
Well, Nick, he's kind of in the same boat I am. He wants to fit. He wants to cram and fit every sponsor on his race car. Because they support him, so he wants to support them. And Nick, he has some of the best looking bodies in the UMP game history.
Yeah.
So, like you said, the scheme looks good. So I mean, if those two forces work together, it's going to be all right.
Yeah. Actually, Clayton, they're looking to buy a modified for him because his family's big into modified speed mod stuff. So he might run against you if you go to Clarksville and stuff again. He actually is looking for a body guy, and there's this guy in Tennessee, and he builds some nice bodies that look like something. It's like you mix a Longhorn Elite. So, one of Kyle Strickler's body and Nick's if they were mixed. So it looks pretty good.
Really good. I enjoy messing with bodies, man.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when I'm doing it, but I love it when I'm not. Messing with bodies is cool. It's fun. You take a flat piece of sheet metal and you make it into a race car body. You sit down and think of stuff about like that, and it turns out to be pretty cool and stuff like that. A lot of people hate doing bodies. I'm like, man, if you go out there and you spend time with somebody doing it, it's all worth it.
Yeah. For sure. I need a minute to think of some questions, so I'll let Javen go because he's had his minute. So, go ahead, Javen.
My next question is how challenging do you find it, to keep your head up when it gets tough, if you're on a 5 rigs DNF streak or whatever, how do you keep your head up in that situation? What do you use to get you through it?
I'm really hard on myself. That's one thing that you guys need to try not to be just super hard on yourself, because it's just me and Dad. And Dad, he ain't real mechanical. I'm not either. So it's always it just always feels like it's my fault. If we don't do good, or something happens, I just feel like it's my fault. If I tear something up, I just feel awful. Don't matter if we win or not. If we wreck, I feel awful. I'm just super hard on myself. But I always think it could be worse. I could be some little kid that don't have parents that love them, and not being able to get out there on the racetrack. My parents support me all the way through. With my dream. That's just one thing. It can always be worse. That's what keeps my head up. It can always be worse. I could have strict parents that wouldn't even let me touch a race car because they think it's super dangerous. But my mom and my dad let me strap into a 800 horsepower piece of machinery that could kill me any second every weekend of my life. So it's just you just got to be thankful. And like I said, I was struggling hard at the Tulip Bowl, and I was like, man, I'm living a dream right now. Kids dream about doing this, and they don't get the opportunity to. So I straight up I was down in the dumps, didn't qualify that well, and I was like, you know what? It's going to be okay. We got next weekend. We got next time.
Yeah.
Definitely. And thanks for that. And hey, if you need any help at all, then I'll be there. So I can some help if you need it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we lack on help, around the Colin Mefford stable.
Oh
We,
yeah.
we finally had our first crew member. Last year, my buddy Darren, he came and helped me a little bit. Took tires off, grinded them for me. Fix spoilers and sheet metal. And then we had a crew chief down in Fallujah. We thought he was really high stepping. He did a lot of the adjustments and changes on the car for me, so it was a pretty cool ordeal.
Yeah, that's a good dude right there. So this isn't really.
And that, you know, y'all kids, especially you're 10 years old,
Mhm.
and of course your dad's gonna do a lot. Of course, your dad's gonna buy stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have a job. You can't let this daddy's money thing get to you. You'd be surprised how many people are out there using their dad's money.
Yeah.
You got superstars that you wouldn't even think of. Still racing for their dad, still racing for the family.
Mhm.
Like you can't let it get to you. Everybody out here started on daddy's money. There's a
Mhm.
few that didn't, and they're tip top shape. But mostly everybody started on daddy's money, and you cannot let that get to you. That's another good piece of advice. Of course, but if you're out there earning it in the shop, at the racetrack, and you're earning it, you deserve to be in that seat just as much as anybody else.
Yeah.
Don't matter who's paying for it, what's going on. You got to earn it. So that's a decent piece of advice I think I can give, especially if you're starting at a young age.
Yeah. Right now I can't really think of like a racing related question, but what's your like favorite sport outside of like racing? Like football, basketball, baseball? I'm a basketball fan. I've played it since I was like 7, 6. So, yeah.
I'm a huge college sports fan. Don't really matter what it is. Huge college sports fan. Mostly basketball and football,
Yeah.
but like I'm a huge college sports fan. My Tennessee Volunteers. That's my team. Go Vols.
Mhm.
But I mean that's my number one deal. Like if I'm not racing and it's a Saturday, I'm always cheering them Vols on at Neyland.
Mhm. Yeah. You know, who uh who is your like favorite driver? Who's a driver you look up to a lot?
You know, people ask me this a lot, and I really don't know. It's you look up to people, and then you start racing with them, and running with them. Then you're like, it's like passing your hero. It's like that is supposed to be my hero, like, and I just passed him. Like, am I my own hero now? So I really don't know how to answer that. Of course, I look up to people for advice and stuff like that. Like I'll do that to about any veteran driver in the pits, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I'll talk. I walk up to talk to Wallace, Hoffman, Tyler Nicely. People like that. People I know that I know what they're doing. Don't really matter who it is. I got a veteran driver. I'm racing with pretty much Trent Young. I'm racing with him, and he helps me out a little bit and here and there and everywhere. So it's one of those deals, man. I don't really have people I look up to. I got friends that help me out, and I kind of look up to them. I look for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Which of course, my dad didn't race. I'm the first person that's raced out of my family. Really, I had my uncle and my papa race, and that's it. Like my dad, my mom didn't race. My mom came from a racing background. Dad's a race fan, so I can't really look up to dad racing wise. I look up to him as a person. Dad. He's my number one. He's one of my best friends. He carries me. He carries me through it all. But that's one thing, man. It's hard to look up to anybody. But it'd be different if my dad raced. I'd for sure look up to him. I think he's one of the best of all time.
Yeah, for sure. Javen, you got something yet?
Yeah. So, like I know you're running mods right now, but like if you had to move up to like any class, like, and that's like your dream class, what class would you say that is?
Well, What would be reasonable for me right now would be like a crate late model. If we was gonna buy another race car, it'd be a crate late model. But if anybody offered me a ride, don't matter if it's crate, super, modified, or what, I'd probably take it. You know, I I mean, I don't. That's one thing about me. I don't want to spend my dad's money. You know, I've always hated doing that. I don't want to do that. So if I get a ride, it's simple. You know, we go and it's kind of like we spend their money instead of ours. But and that's one big thing. If anybody trusts me to run their equipment, dude, it's all the respect in the world that I got for them. So if somebody told me today, come run this crate late model for me next year. Come run this super late model. Come run this modified. Of course I'm going to tap on it because I don't want to make Dad, waste all his money on me, tearing stuff up. But yeah, it's one of those deals. If I have the shot to move up, I'm going to move up. But I don't really see myself, as our family team moving up to anything really here soon. Especially a different class. I think we're pretty happy in the modified division.
I think Cody has something now.
Yeah. So this is off topic because right now I'm struggling to get some racing questions. I'm scrolling through Facebook as we're doing this, see if I can, something pops up. I actually forgot I just had one. Did you see the Aston Winger J.R. Smith incident? If so, what's your opinions on that?
What I really think it is a Winger didn't do anything wrong on the racetrack.
Yeah.
The slider in 3 was a little dirty, but J.R. Smith could have straight up turned under him, no big whoop, kept racing. Yeah. Smith pulls out on the restart under him. Winger didn't fire that great and just doors the crap out of him going to 1. Step 1, that's the wrong move. Especially lap 1. That's stupid. Throws a dirty slide up. I mean, not a dirt. Well, it was dirty-ish. He clears him. He gets it to his left rear. Big whoop. They race on. And then J.R. Smith just goes in there, tries to dump him, dumps himself. Winger keeps going. Harm on the 2 car. No harm on the 12. Let's keep racing. 2 car goes to the back. It's good. J.R. Smith comes up through the field, wrecks him. That's where it's over. J.R. Smith disqualified, get off the racetrack. Ashton Winger didn't do anything. Holy crap, I was surprised. And then he keeps wrecking him and stuff like that. So and then what happened was I had altercation in the pits. Was it wrong for Winger to go up yelling at him like that? Yes. Winger should have just, tried to be calm and just walked over and just talked to him. They're all in jail now, so can't really change much about that. They did come out with their penalties today, so. That was it.
They got released like the second day, actually.
I never heard they got released, but yeah. And you know what's funny? That Ashton Winger used to drive for a J.R. Smith.
And he had another freaking incident in that same car. Listen, Ashton's a wheel man, and if he's watching this, I love him. He's a really good driver. Don't get me wrong.
He's a wheel.
But he can be a hothead sometimes. So if you're watching this, don't take this offensive. But you get out of hand sometimes. But that's all right.
And that's another thing with AM racing.
Yeah.
Dude, you will get so mad sometimes that you can't hold it. So you just gotta be calm, stay calm, fight through it all.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go with my off topic, and then I believe Javen actually has one for you after this. What's your favorite type of food? Because I asked the same question to Chris. I love hearing off-topic things. Besides racing, I love learning about.
Fergie probably said something bland. He don't seem like
He said
he gets
Italian.
excited about
He said Italian.
Italian. Okay, yeah. Fergie, it looks like Fergie just be a big barbecue guy, especially coming from North Carolina. Fergie, he's one of my good buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a huge Mexican guy, straight up. I'm a huge food fan in general, man. I can eat anything.
Yeah.
But like, if there was an option, and I could go for, like, if I had an option to go anywhere, El Dorado and Powderly, Kentucky, probably going to go there here when I get off this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Mexican.
I don't know. I eat a lot. I'll go get a chicken quesadilla. Straight up.
Oh, I like the cheese, but some days I get that chicken because, chicken good. I love Mexican and Italian. They're my. That's
I believe I've actually been to what you're talking about, Charlie.
No kidding.
Yep. It's some of the best Mexican food I've had, honestly. My question was just, so they actually cut some of the banking off of Bloomington. I don't know if you heard that or not. That's what you thought about that.
Did we lose Charlie? Nope. We may have lost him for a minute. Give it a second. Having some.
All right, there we go. I had to take it off my truck. I've been driving home.
All right.
But yeah, huge Mexican fan. So you say you've been to El Dorado?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Keep Hector in there.
I think Javen was talking about Bloomington, and you were disconnecting. So.
Oh yeah. They cut the banking down at Bloomington. I was just gonna ask you if you heard about it, any of that.
I have not. I don't keep up with Bloomington a lot. That's really not a racetrack I look at. I've seen videos of it, but if they cut the banking down, I think that place would be pretty gnarly for a modified. I know they run a lot of sprint cars there. That might not be good for the sprint cars, but if they cut the banking down and it still gets a pretty good cushion like it normally does, I think it's going to be a really good race.
Yeah.
I definitely, growing up at Bloomington, I definitely think cutting the banking down will bring back Bloomington like it used to be a few years ago. It would be just straight red clay, and it was hammered down the whole night. It wouldn't even get slick, honestly, back in the day.
See, I'm a huge fan of slick racetracks.
Yeah.
It blows off. I get pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's because you're a driver. And, slick tracks are what truly shows if you're a driver. Anyone that's got lots of money can be fast on a hammer down racetrack.
So, to add on to the Ashton Winger incident with G.R. Smith, Peyton Freeman, he was G.R.'s teammate there for a while. He ran for him. He actually went back to his home or family-owned car after the incident, and he's staying in the family-owned as of right now. So, thought I'd throw that out there.
That's not really a bad idea. I'm pretty sure a lot of people seen that coming. Just you don't want to run for a team owner like that, man. It was just a bad thing that happened, and if my team owner did that, I probably wouldn't, want to run for him anymore at that time.
Yeah, for sure. We are almost at 50 minutes here, so hey Charlie. So can you describe us how a four-banger drives?
Do what?
Can you describe us how a four-banger drives? Like you did at Gateway.
I don't know anything about a four-banger. If I'm going to be strictly honest with you, I just know they're going wing, 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 wing. That's it. That's all I know. I don't know how they drive. I don't know how they act. Nothing.
My next question. My next question was, what went through your head when you was like coming down the back straightaway at the dome when you ended up upside down? What was going through your
I
head?
said it in my interview. I swear that was the truth. I remember saying it. I'm like, oh, there's a car to the inside. Oh crap, that's not good. And then it like started going right. I was like, oh, I'm flipping.
Man.
No, I was like, oh, I'm in the wall. And then I felt it like start going over. I was like, oh, I'm flipping.
You said,
The
And I was like,
anytime,
you know, I
like,
want to get
I'm
up.
talking to my dad, anytime I like want to get him to take off laughing, I'm over there. Oh man!
Yeah. And about that time I started rolling over. I was like, oh man, what am I doing?
That's just perfect.
And that's no BS right there. That's straight up what I said. I was like, what am I doing?
And then you
And right then is when Charlie Mefford gained like thousands of fans. Me being one
Yeah.
of them.
probably
Right then, I ordered my Mefford shirt.
Funny thing is, you know that good old water wah wah when you took up for Kenny Wallace. You know that was a good one.
See that's the secret. That's not Kenny Wallace. That is strictly Charlie Mefford. I say I took after Kenny Wallace. Like I kind of took after Kenny Wallace because, like, you know, he's got that woo.
Oh, he left. Give him a second. I don't think he realized he left. Oopsies. Charlie's getting a little too excited right there.
He's getting.
He's enjoying this flashback. We'll wait till he gets back in here. We'll end her off.
I gotta get them.
Get you back. Kicked him out for some reason. All right, here we go. We get him back in here. Hold on. All right, there we go. We lost her for a second. You know.
Hey, Charlie, I got a video for us to listen to right quick.
Yeah, I really just don't know what happened right there. It just kicked me out.
That's weird. I don't know why.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
We're talking about how you
Oh,
taking up for Kenny or something.
well, Wallace did it. Yeah, I was kind of taking after him because, you know, he did that kitchen deal. And I've been saying that all week, all month, ever since I got him out of the dome. I'm going to be coming through those holes. What?
There it is. He cut out. It broke his mic. There we go.
Well, I got us a video that's gonna kick us off here. One of my favorite modified drivers here.
Get together, Becerra, and the car, you know, you wonder there, DJ, did
listen.
something happen on the right front because it just took a turn.
We can ask Charlie. Charlie, walk us through this crash here. Run it back, guys. Give us another. Here you go.
Yeah, run that one back.
One more time. So I came off a 2, and they this unit right here just like kind of like I hit the cushion, kind of got sideways, and I looked to my left, there's a race car. Oh, well,
Like, oh, that good.
And the steering's so heavy in this thing where we had to replace the whole right front, so I kind of just stuck. And then I got up in the wall, and I was like,
oh,
ouch. And then I'm upside down, I was like,
oh man, what am I doing?
Hey, Blake, ask Charlie if he can relive that or recreate how he was going to drive that car when he was telling James what down there as we were taking photos during the track walk. I mean, if he can explain that for this whole place, I mean, I laughed for an hour about this. I mean, that's what I want to hear, is how he was going to drive these things through the holes.
How are you going to drive these things through the hole is what Jerry wanted to know. He said he laughed watching you demonstrate that.
So we was going to get up. See, you know, I kind of take after Kenny Wallace here. I'll get up in that, you know,
Where can we get your shirts? Let us know again.
RaceRanch.com, baby. Hey, they don't call me the Pit Lizard Pit for nothing, baby. Go get the shirts.
Race Ranch. I'll tell you what. Oh, man.
I'm not going to lie, but I love that guy.
Oh man.
Well, I said we were going to end it. I said we were going to end it.
Bringing back memories.
Yeah. That, you know, when you said that water, that's how Charlie's going to go to that Mexican restaurant. But
No kidding, yeah.
yeah. Clayton. Clayton just got in here. He was able to make it for the last few minutes, so We'll just launch her to an hour, and we'll let him throw a couple questions at you before we end out, since he hasn't got his time. So go ahead, Clayton.
Well, how you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing all right, man. Just got off work. Rode to town. Gonna hang out with some buds for a little bit.
Heck yeah, sounds fun. Well, so I seen you went to Clarksville and all, and I just want to know, how'd the track feel?
Friday, dude, it was ripping. I mean, just golf in the corner. Wham! Just straight up, just wide open, man. Qualifying was not the same. It kind of started blowing off a little bit. Saturday, dude, it was flickering crap. Racetrack sucked Saturday. But damn, yeah.
Well, heck yeah.
You know, he pulls out the sounds every 5 minutes now.
Yeah. It's just it's just race car noises playing in my head. I work at a motor shop, so it's constantly dynoing. I just it's constant, just wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about to hit the old hour mark.
Well, that's all I got.
Let's talk about some iRacing. So how often do you do iRacing? Because I see
Every night. Every night.
Ooh.
I see your races every night, but I can't ever run them.
I just started a new Sim Sports deal. Charlie and Charlie Sim Sports. We're accepting new drivers. If anybody is interested, please contact either the Facebook page or my Facebook page personally, my Discord, whatever matters. Whatever way you can get a hold of me. We are really accepting new drivers. We really need drivers. We're hooking up a deal with Fergie. We're gonna have Majula C Speed Shop on board, so we're gonna be running Majula C sets. I'm gonna be running a lot of good stuff. So that's something I want people to check out and get into.
Sprint cars included.
Sprint cars included. We got Landon Crawley as a pre-driver, trying to get him on board. He's a wheel in a sprint car. He's pretty good kid. Pretty good wheel man.
When I run UMPs on iRacing, right now I got the Mike McKinney scheme on, but I did have your scheme on that you uploaded because I saw Charlie Mefford and I was like, "Hey, that's that guy that flipped in the dome." Oh, I love his scheme.
I cannot make raps worth the crap. It probably looked like dog doo doo.
It's actually that car that was my wallpaper right now because I was running it for a mod. It's my wallpaper.
If you need anybody to do your raps, John Darby, with CFM Raps, dude does killer work.
Yeah. If you want a cheaper price, you might get it for free. I don't know, but if you want to come test me out, I'm pretty big in the graphics industry, so.
Heck yeah.
I am as well. I'm not trying to compete with Cody or nothing. He's really good.
We kind of work together.
Yeah,
But before we get off here, I got a few sponsors I want to thank. Of course, mom and dad, like I was saying, they helped me out a ton. The good Lord and Savior above, gets me to the track every weekend, blesses me with the ability to do this. Earnhardt Technology Group, Elite Chassis, Quality Towing, Mefford Construction, Dirt Defender, Lizard Lit, Pit Lights, Oakley Motorsports, Owens Construction, Dig City, Charles Garage, Benton Barbershop, Weir's Machine Products, Bashaft, VP Racing, Twisted Tech, Mom's Professional Cleaning Services, Bassett Wheels, Victory Fuel, Swift Springs. It's hard for me to get anywhere without those folks. And Race Ranch Wear, oh my gosh, Matt, he does the world for me. K1 Race Gear too. We just released new hats at raceranchwear.com/Charlie Mefford Racing. That's where you can get all my merchandise. Just released new Pit Lizard Pimpin' hats, dude. They are bad. A new rope hats straight out the 80s, all in the all bright colors that you need. So you can even wear them on the High Vis work site. So go check them out and get you some Charlie merchandise.
Heck yeah. Might buy that white and pink hat.
Yes, I'm gonna try to buy them all.
For sure.
I need to get me some Charlie Mefford merch. It's been a good one. We might have to run some iRacing tonight if you get home before we gotta head out for the night. Might have to throw up a couple for us or something.
We can see what happens. But yeah, man, I really appreciate y'all coming on. It's a pretty cool deal. When Fergie said, it's they're not, the typical podcast people I've been, on. And then as soon as I heard you call, I was like, dang, he said he was young, but I didn't know he was this young. So yeah, as soon as I heard your voice, and as soon as I heard Fergie say he was young, I was like, man, I got to do it. You guys are the next generation of the motorsports. So you got to support them at all times.
Yeah, for
Definitely,
sure.
and being around your age, Charlie, it's definitely cool to see what you can do in a car.
Yeah, man, that just comes with time and experience, man.
For sure. It's been a good one. I'm gonna end out the stream, Charlie. If you wouldn't care to stick in here for a minute after we close it out, because I believe one of my friends wants to come in here and talk to you. He's not a part of it, but I'd say he wants to talk to you real quick because he asked us. So let's end this out real quick. I've had a really good night with you. So more to come, definitely. We'll surprise y'all throughout the week with who's coming on next. Charlie's gonna throw some suggestions. So.
Yeah, man. I still don't know who to get on. You guys. I mean, it's y'all's podcast. You don't need guests every night. I do my own podcast. You Can't Park Their podcast. We're on Facebook. Man, you don't really need guests all the time. If it's just a couple of buddies just talking about racing, that's all that matters. And that's who my guest is going to be for next week's podcast. Just you guys. I think it's a pretty cool deal y'all got going on here, and I'll support it fully.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be just us. But yeah, we'll see y'all next
week. World to me, Charles.
Yeah,
you got to come on here and I'll let you finish up now.
Yeah, so we'll see y'all next week, Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Tuesday. We'll see what happens when the driver can make it, if we have a driver, because Charlie said it'll totally just be us. So yeah, good night, everybody.